Oh no, we scream a good team from LPL, but it was only 2 games at like 10 at night. There is not many teams that want to scream us because if you think about it, NA is gonna play like LCK, they're gonna play LPL, they're not gonna give us scrims.
Today is the first elimination day in MSI 2024, and unfortunately I am in the presence of Josedeodo after an unfortunate defeat against PSG Talon 0-2 today on the day. Jose, how are you doing after this match? What are your immediate thoughts and what went wrong today?
First of all, I feel very sad losing today because I feel like our expectations were very high today. I feel like we could done a way more better job in every sense. All the things that went wrong, I think we could do it better, and we know that everything went wrong is on us. I just feel very sad. I don't know, just disappointed overall.
I guess it's very disappointing as well because you guys definitely showed up a pretty decent performance against T1 as well. I think people were very impressed with your Lee Sin as well. I mean, today we saw PSG Talon were heavily targeting you in draft as well, banning Lee Sin and Sejuani both games. Are you still happy with your personal showing, or are you maybe disappointing in your own performance today?
I mean, I think it would be dumb for me to say that I'm not happy. I feel like I've done everything that I could to be where I am. We went to Korea and I feel like I got a very good win rate. I did everything that I could there. Then I came here. I feel like in scrims, I've done everything. I dropped everything, my 100% on every game. And I feel like even if we lost, I'm happy with how we did it as a team. Because against T1, I feel like we show one of our best faces. Because even if we lost, like against T1, I don't feel shame from it. But I just feel like today was like the other half, like other part of the coin. And we just saw our worst part, and everything we did wrong on the scrims and everything came up today. And that's just competition, That's just how it is. But personally speaking, I'm happy with how I did it. Of course, there is stuff you can do better, coming maybe from attitude and stuff, but I just feel like I did everything that I could. I'm happy with it.
It's very sad as well because this format is very difficult for teams from minor regions as well, because even though you had a pretty decent performance against T1, in the end the score technically is a 0-4 for you guys, which is definitely disappointing. I guess if you look at it in, like, you take a step back and you look at it, like, the performance still was pretty decent. Do you believe maybe that this format does disservice for teams from minor regions and maybe don't allow you guys to show your proper skill level maybe?
I mean, personally, I feel like the tournament is hard, yeah. I feel like the biggest problem is that the amount of time you have to prepare against these teams is like way less. When you go to Worlds, you have a lot of teams that want to scream and want to play against you, and you have a lot of training to do in the matches. But I also feel like in here, you only have like 2 scrims because nobody wants to play us or stuff. It's understandable because maybe T1 doesn't want to play us, or G2 or teams like that. They probably don't want to play us. But I feel like the format itself is very hard for us. But I don't feel like it could be an excuse because I feel like we also had some good games. We play against some LPL teams and stuff. But I also feel like the amount of time you have is less than Worlds, so that makes it way harder. And also lane swap really catch up out of guard. It's unexpected. You never know how it will come when you didn't practice against. And we didn't have a lot of scrims against lane swap, especially before T1. So I don't know. I feel like that was our biggest issue.
Yeah, it definitely felt like you guys maybe didn't have the correct approach maybe for the lane swaps, and it was a bit surprising because, for example, like today in game 2 you could have lane swap, but maybe did you opt not to do it because it was something that you were just not comfortable doing as well? Because I think for game 2 it would have perhaps be a good thing to alleviate the match up top and bot lane as well, right?
Yeah, I feel like we didn't want to do it as a team. So I felt like for me it was an obvious call because I felt like we were playing against T1 and I felt like they were better. So I think lane swap is good against better teams because you avoid matching lanes and stuff that they can take advantage from. I feel like also that what T1 did was good for us because they avoid our matchups when we also wanted to avoid. But as a team, we wanted to show like we weren't scared of matching them, which I don't think is bad or anything, but I feel like maybe we could have done a better preparation and stuff. But we also didn't have the amount of games that we expected to make it work. So I think that was the biggest problem for us. I feel like also we thought the PSG wouldn't do it. I feel like their lane swap was not good the first game. That's why they didn't do it the second game. I wasn't mad with it. I feel like we could have done it better for sure. Also, preparation was really bad for us.
I mean, as you mentioned as well, regarding scrims, it must have been very difficult. And I guess it's just a byproduct of being a minor region. Are you able to disclose the kind of teams you've been able to scrim since you arrived? Maybe did you scrim teams from like the LCK, the LPL that maybe weren't at the tournament, for example?
Oh no, we scream a good team from LPL, but it was only 2 games at like 10 at night. But it wasn't like more than that. We also scream. I don't think we can say, but you can expect who it is, like minor regions. Besides that, there is there is not many teams that want to scream us, because if you think about it, NA is gonna play like LCK, they're gonna play LPL, they're not gonna give us scrims, and the other teams are gonna scream each other. So it's like most of us we scream like minor regions, and if one team wants to scream out of nowhere, we instantly take it, because we don't have a choice. Besides that, I don't think you can do more. Also, I think if we won today and against FlyQuest, we obviously will get one scrim, but it's like that's it, and no more than that. I don't feel like it's on the enemy teams, because I also understand they probably have better practice against other teams. Understandable, it's better for us than for them, and I don't think we can teach them anything that they cannot learn from playing other teams. Understandable. That's why I think the tournament itself is hard, especially for minor regions, because we have a lot to learn and they have a lot to like learn against each other. So it's harder for us to catch up when they're learning with each other more than for us.
And I mean, as we saw and as you already mentioned as well, I think something that was very nice to see during this tournament, even though the end result wasn't very good, but you've been really grinding on the Korean solo queue ladder, and we saw that you even like reached very high in Masters, and maybe you peaked Grandmaster at some point. I don't remember exactly, but
3 LP away.
Okay.
Almost.
Unfortunate. But yeah, and I mean, you got a 74% win rate as well, which is very impressive. Are you still happy with this overall like trip, I guess, to China? And do you feel like maybe you learned some stuff from this tournament?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like if we'll have more time as a team, I feel like we could do a way better job, because even if we went to Korea, we were like, I think 9 days, something like that. So it's not like we did a super boot camp and we prepared a lot. I also believe like if we will have more time, we probably will be way better. I don't know if we will beat PSG. We probably will done a better job. And I think what we show is not our ceiling, which is the part that frustrates me the most. I know this team capabilities and I know every player. I know we had a lot to show, but also how it is. I think today what happened, and like we just have to learn from it. I think that's the most important part.
And also you're in a bit of weird situation, I guess, going back to the LLA now, because we just received the announcement that the league rather is going to be moving down to 6 teams, and it's a very weird landscape, I guess, over there, because it feels like the region is in a very difficult spot and hasn't had the best results lately. What are your thoughts regarding this? Do you still have hope for the LLA in the future, and what do you expect in summer to happen, I guess?
I mean, I feel like the biggest fear from everyone is like the LLA is gonna be like a bad league and we're just gonna have the Japan situation, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest worry from people. Results wise, I don't think we are doing a good job. Even I know today it's not like what we have to prove. I think like Worlds is gonna be like the proof point for LA, because I think everyone is scared of how it's gonna turn out. The Japan situation came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that could happen, or like we have to play against Brazil, something like that, against them to get the spot or anything. And I also don't feel like it's a weird situation, because result wise, even though we did a good job against T1 or whatever you want to say, it's like what people want to see is us in group stage or bracket stage. If we don't make it, eventually people is just gonna be not happy with our league. That's just the reality of the league.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like that's something we have to see in the future. I feel like the team that's gonna be in Worlds is gonna have to prove everyone that we can make it far. And if not, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
very sad, but that's just the reality.
All right. Well, we do have to close out, but could you give a final word for the LLA fans and the people that follow you as well?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone that cheered for us, even though we lost. I feel like we could have way more, but I'm always happy to represent them and happy about the support they give us today, especially after we lost. I already got a lot of messages to see and a lot of people showing us respect and stuff, but yeah, very disappointing, and hopefully we can do it better next time.
Well, thank you very much for your interview today with me, Josedeodo, and I hope you have a safe trip home as well, and that we'll see you again at Worlds.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.